Well, Paul, what an interesting night. What an interesting night. Guys, share this. We know there's a lot of other live streams going on. There's a lot going on. It doesn't look like there's going to be the chaos and the mayhem that we thought there was going to be down in Aston. But what do you make of this, Paul? I mean, obviously, you're from a footballing background. You've literally probably the only person in our movement that has worked at the highest level for a Premier League club. If you were sitting in Aston Villa tonight, what would you be thinking? What would you be trying to do?
Well, I think in the build-up to the game, Richard, what would have happened at a normal match, for an example, if it was Aston Villa versus Man United, as an example, at Villa Park, Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, whenever, in the build-up to the game, you know, the previous week, the Monday and the Tuesday, the police, the safety officer, the police liaison officer would have a meeting at Villa Park, go through the usual safety procedures. They discuss the stewarding, and they would take intel from the liaison officers from both clubs that deal with their risk element, what they call the risk element. And the risk element is basically the lads are likely or potentially likely to cause a problem before the game, during the game, and after the game. Now, before the game and after the game, it's not really the responsibility of the football club, or it wasn't back in the day when I worked at the Premier League anyway. Whether any of that's changed, I don't know. During the game, obviously, that is the responsibility of the stadium safety officer, who will be liaising with the police. But going back to your question, what would I be thinking if I was at Aston Villa tonight? Well, look, first of all, I think the first thing, Richard, is I've got a lot of sympathy for Aston Villa and their supporters tonight, because, I mean, look, it's a big club with a grand history whose reputation is now being, you know, kind of dragged through the mud a little bit, and all down to sectarianism. Let's get it right. You know, this is nothing to do with football. It's about intimidation, bullying,
and anti-Semitism. Yeah, anti-Semitism.
Yeah, because
I just want to jump in there, Paul, because obviously there's bits and pieces of news coming through. Young Bob apparently has just been arrested. What we'll do, guys, obviously we're not going to run other people's live streams into our video tonight. But what we'll do, if we get any breaking news, obviously we can talk about the breaking news and discuss it. We've got a couple of videos we want to show you, because again, I think what we've got to try and get across, Paul, is just the very, very seriousness of the situation that we're actually in as a nation. And I'm going to play 2 or 3 videos, and again, we've got some very special footage coming. Tommy's got a helicopter up there, so we've got some very special footage coming from the helicopter. We'll bring that after we play these first 2 videos. Let's get these videos played. And they all just love Tommy, Paul, don't they? They just love Tommy so much. I mean, it's unbelievable. But do you know what that reminded me? By the way, we've got 1,600 people in here tonight, which is really good because I was expecting, with a lot of other streams going on, not to get that many. Paul, you muted, mate? I think you're muted. You're muted, mate.
There you go. Yeah, lovely, Richard. Look, Richard, before we go any further, can I just finish off what I was going to say earlier on?
Sorry, Paul. Yes, I cut across. Yeah.
I mean, look, the bottom line is talking about, the football club. Look, what's happened here is that talking about, I started talking about cowardice, and really, it's strange that I finished with that word when you mentioned the arrest of young Bob, because what we're seeing here is cowardice. Because look, the authorities have bowed here to local Islamic pressure to ban away fans. But of course, we all know that whatever you give these people, it's never enough. And now they want Maccabi Tel Aviv, the club, banned altogether from Birmingham. Now, look, of course, the surrounding area is, as you just showed, drenched in Palestine flags and the other usual garbage that goes with it. And I'm afraid that this, for me, is a stain on Aston Villa Football Club. It's a stain on English football. It's a stain on the authorities and the police, and it's certainly another case.
Certainly on the West Midlands Police, Paul. Scandalous.
Exactly. It's another case of us giving in to the threat of violence from Islamists. Exactly. Now, I just say this to finish off with. Look, the police are well-versed, very well-versed in dealing with problems at football matches up and down the country. So if they can deal with West Ham versus Millwall, if they can deal with Celtic versus Rangers, Liverpool versus Man United, I'm sure they can deal with Aston Villa versus Maccabi Tel Aviv when there's no away fans even present. So what's next in Birmingham, Richard? Are they going to ban Tottenham?
Well, this is the whole thing, Paul. This is the whole thing. And this isn't about, from what I can see, and again, I'm sure people in the comments can keep us right. From what I can see, it seems to have been a bit of a fart in a spacesuit. It seems to be a bit of a damp squib. There don't seem to be too many people at this event. I think I know why, and I'll tell you in a minute. But go on, carry on. No, go on. Tell me why you think, Paul.
Well, I think if the elders had used their loaf, Danny. Richard. I'll tell you something. I've got something to tell you about Danny later on. If the elders in the local Islamic community used their loaf today, they would have told their youngsters to stay away. They've already won.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need to be there.
No, exactly.
They do not need to be there.
Yeah.
They're playing the long game, and the clever advice to them tonight will be to stay away. You've already won.
Yeah.
Keep your powder keg dry for another day when we feel that you might be needed.
I absolutely agree, Paul. Absolutely agree.
Tonight, and I think that's why I think many of them will listen to their elders. Hopefully, the hope is that advice will have been given in good faith. I'm afraid I'm a bit more sceptical than that.
Yep.
I think they're very, very clever, and but look, at the end of the day, like I said, the big question for me is, look, if I was an Aston Villa fan, I wouldn't go to that game tonight. I'd boycott it. I want to see Villa Park empty.
Yep. Exactly.
And say, do you know what? If you're going to allow this to affect our national sport, the game that we gave the world, the beautiful game, the most popular sport in the world across so many nations, right? If you're going to allow a few local nutters to tell us that this can't happen, then it's not going to happen altogether. We're not coming.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's and the reality is they can't really lose, Paul, because if they don't get a massive crowd, they'll just say, "Oh, they were terrified of the far right," right? They'll just play the victim. Yeah. And if they do get a massive crowd, then it's a great victory. We mobilize tens of thousands of people. I want to play a couple more videos here, Paul, if I may. But before I do that, one of the things when I was watching that video earlier, the one that I spliced together of all the Palestinian graffiti and the flags, that reminded me of Belfast in the 1980s. When I first went to Belfast, there was Irish tricolours everywhere. There was curbstones painted. There was, still hunger striker memorials all over the place. And these people are doing exactly the same. And even the way they're radicalized.
This is where we're going.
I know.
This is where we
It's
are
where
heading.
it's where we are, Paul. It's not where we're going. It's where we are. And you know, when I went to Belfast in 1987, the lads that I served with and me, we were all from areas with big Pakistani Muslim communities, and we said to each other, in 20 years' time, there'll be bombs on the streets of England from these people, right? Do you know what? We were totally wrong. It was 18 years' time. It was 2005 when the first bombs started going off. But we could see it when we were kids. You know, like I say, I've known about this since 1984, probably since 1982. And you know, it's not getting any less. And the powers that be, and in a way, it would actually be really good if the jihadists and the Islamists got a crowd of about 10,000 people there, because that would really hopefully wake some people up. If there's only a couple of hundred there, it just shows that, you know, that Ahmad Yaqub, better call Afzal as I call him. It reminds me of Saul Goodman out of Breaking Bad. Except he's not as articulate as Saul Goodman. But these people are very, very dangerous people, Paul. Very, very dangerous.
Absolutely.
And you know, Afzal's not Afzal. Ahmed's tagline is, for every offense there has to be a defense. You know, so basically he's saying, you know, oh, there's a defense for every offense, right? That's his thing. I want people to hear this. This is the confidence these guys have got. Now, this again, these videos, I'm putting these up specifically, Paul, to wake people up. Because even if the Muslims don't have a big show tonight in numbers, this is what they're thinking and this is what they believe. Just have a look at this.
We have to be a part of those ghuraba who stand firm on our aqidah and our practice and our deen and never, ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never, ever compromise. We're uncompromising.
Pull that back to the beginning, actually.
They can be as mad as they want. I don't care. America will be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house. We have to be a part of that change. We have to be a part of that da'wah. We have to be a part of those ghuraba who stand firm on our aqidah and our practice and our deen and never, ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never, ever compromise. We're uncompromised.
And again, that guy there, okay, he's not saying anything illegal. He's on about, you know, promoting his faith. He's got a right to do that. I'd be saying, I want every house to be Christian. That's fair enough. But the next one I'm going to show, Paul, and I showed you this earlier. Now, this guy is a lawyer. He's speaking at a meeting in Birmingham. Some of the guys that are with Better Call Afzal are basically at this meeting. And guys, in the comments, I want you to listen to this very, very carefully. Listen to what this man says, because it is really, really important what he says.
But for one, for the armed to ourselves, but for one, for the armed resistance to Israel, those within Palestine and those from Yemen, Lebanon, Iran, and citizens of all countries of the world, Muslims and non-Muslims, who have paid and continue to pay the ultimate price for their armed resistance to the Zionist entity. May they succeed. Long live the Intifada. Long live the armed resistance.
Now, basically, Paul, there he is 100% glorifying terrorism, and he's 100% supporting Hamas. It's as simple as that. He might not have used Hamas, and he's been very clever the way he's done it, because obviously he knows, he's a lawyer, he knows how to work his way around the law. But he is absolutely calling for the destruction of Israel. He's absolutely calling for the murder of Jews. And, well, let's listen to what else he's got to say.
We are gathered here to unite in our call for a military intervention to stop the genocide and to dismantle the apartheid state of Israel and its illegal occupation of Palestine. This evening you will hear from Palestinian and non-Palestinian allies, all of them with a profound knowledge, experience and insight of resistance to the Zionist settler colonial occupation of Palestine. All of us united in the call for military intervention. We ask that you listen carefully to each speaker with an open heart and with an open mind, and participate when the open floor comes for feedback and questions afterwards. Our vision for this event is that you will leave not only feeling convinced that military intervention against Israel is the right and legal way forward, but that you also recognize your own power, your own agency to make it happen. And
what do you make of that, Paul?
Well, I wonder what military intervention he's talking about.
Well, he's Iran,
who's from? Yeah,
Hamas, the
exactly,
Houthis.
exactly.
That, he's talking about terrorist states. I mean, he is absolutely glorifying terrorism. Razbob, Islam is demonic. I agree with that. Not everybody necessarily will agree with that, but I certainly do agree with that 100%. And yeah, I mean, what do we do, Paul? How can we convince people that we are in very real danger from these people?
Well, I think the big challenge, Richard, is not convincing people that are watching this show right now. Unfortunately, the challenge is convincing people out there that haven't yet opened up their eyes. I mean, there's a great comment there from Susie Lawrence. They no longer need to fly planes into buildings. It's far easier to change the demographics. But great comment. But what I'd actually say, Susie, they no longer need to fly planes into buildings. They simply walk through the front door.
Well, they own the buildings. I mean, one of the problems is, Paul, that we've literally sold. Well, we haven't, but the powers that be, the elites, have sold out to these multi-billion-dollar sheikhs from Qatar, from Saudi, the Turkish influence. Our country has literally been sold to our enemies from under our feet.
Look what's going on in New York, though, Richard, as well. I mean, really concerning. Yep. I mean, really very, very concerning. I've had friends from America, they messaging me apologising. They live in New York and they're saying, Paul, I'm so sorry that our people have done this. It's not their bloody fault. They didn't vote that way. But I mean, what the hell state of mind is New Yorking to be doing what they've done out there?
Do you know what, Paul? It absolutely rocks me to the core when I saw that guy, because he's not a liberal. He's a
hardliner.
He's a hardliner. Yeah. He's a hardliner. He was, I think he was making comments about some of. I can't remember. There was something he put on Twitter in 2013, which was horrendous. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll just read this comment here from Memphis Toraxis. £10 super chat. Thanks very much for that. What's happening here could be like what happened in Portland, USA under Antifa. Large groups of fighting age men owning the streets, take over law and order, then spread outwards. This could be a test run. Paul, I'm not sure whether you're still in the game here, mate, or have you actually dropped out completely?
No, I'm still here, mate. My camera appears to have packed up for a minute. Let me just try and get it back. No, my camera's gone, but
that's okay, mate. You're looking very intellectual in that. We're looking very intellectual in that pose there, mate. So just keep talking, mate. So we know you're still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But actually, I think I've got that feed from the helicopter here, Paul. Just bear with me.
Let's
2 seconds. I think, right, guys. This is coming. This is Tommy's got a helicopter over Birmingham at the minute, so I'm just going to see what the footage is. Just bear with me. Oh dear. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. My goodness.
Oh, well, Richard, what are you like?
That's the problem solved, isn't it?
What are you like? I don't know, Richard. I don't know where my camera's gone. I mean, I'm all plugged in and everything's as it should be. You've not cut me off of it.
No, I haven't, mate. I can't cut you off. No, I don't think it's possible for me to cut you off. I don't know what's going on, Paul, but it's a big improvement anyway, Paul. You're looking very intelligent. Let's have a look, see what's going on there with you.
Oh, we got a clever one. Hold on. We got a clever one in the chat. D. Bayon says, Paul, are you giving advice from the UK? Just asking. I'll tell you what, D, I'm giving my advice from Spain, and I'm just wondering how much better or worse it will be if I was in the UK. So how about...
Yeah, I mean, well, this is the laugh of it. I mean, the reality is, Paul, where you choose to live is entirely up to you. And I think that the truth of the matter is, and I've said this before and I will say it again, you've done more to bring people together in this movement than anybody else I know. I've not known you fall out with anyone. I know plenty of people have had a pop at you. You've never fell out with anybody. You've never lost your cool with anybody. You've brought loads of politicians together. And I would even say, okay, when Ben talks about advance forming up, He always says that Elon was a big influence. We get that 100%. But I don't think Advance would be in the position it is now, Paul, if it wasn't for your work.
Well, thank you, Richard.
You know,
I'll take that and I'll put a check in the post.
Well, mate, yeah. Listen, as long as it's not in pesetas.
It might bounce. That's the only thing.
Don't give me one of them peseta checks. And if anyone can remember what pesetas were, it was pesetas, wasn't it? The
Pesetas,
pesetas, yeah.
Can I just say, our dear friend Danny is having a bit of a rough time at the moment. I'm very worried about Danny right now. He's not in a good place, and just want to, shout out to my dear friend, and I'm with him. I know everyone else would be with him. He's not in a good place. I can't tell you any more than that at the moment. But Danny, we're with you and we love you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, the group this group will pray for Danny. I can say that 100%. All the Christians in this group. I'm just going to ask all of you to start praying for Danny tonight. When we get off this live stream, have a time of prayer for him. Don't know what his issue is. I don't need to know what his issue. It's not about gossiping. If he's got an issue, we'll pray for your brother, and I know that prayer works for sure. So don't, and look, everybody that does this, when I went through what I went through, the only people that had my back was you, Danny, and that was basically a couple of people in Tommy's team, but that was basically it. There's probably about 4 people actually had my back, and a couple of obviously my mates over here in Northern Ireland. So we'll have Danny's back, Paul, 100%.
Well, I can tell you now, Richard. Funnily enough, do you remember at one of the events, a lovely lady gave us some little bits of I don't know what you would call it. Let's just call it like jewelry, like back wristbands and stuff like that. Yeah. This will help keep you boys safe. Danny has been wearing his crucifix that she gave him.
Lovely. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah,
I remember that.
He's been wearing that crucifix for the last 48 hours, and he's told me it's brought him a lot of comfort.
Good. That's brilliant. Well, listen, like I say, let's as long as he knows that we got his back, Paul. Yeah, as long as he knows that we've got his back. I mean, basically, I think the situation with all this stuff. I'm going to put an image in here, actually, Paul. I want to put this image in here. Just get rid of that. Sorry, I don't want to scare the children. Where are we? Put that in. Now, I find that image extremely worrying. That's Shabama Mahmood, right? Now, if anybody knows anything about the Muslim Council of Britain, got to be very, very careful what we say. But what we do know is that the British government, since Oh, you're back, Paul, mate. Good to see you back. It's getting worried. Since 2009, right? Since 2009, the British government has refused to engage with the Muslim Council of Britain. Now, they're not doing that for no reason, Paul. You know how much they love to bend over backwards to any Muslim organization that they think is moderate. Yeah. There are very good reasons that the Council of Britain was set up by people that were involved in Jamaat-e-Islami and the Muslim Brotherhood. That's on record. That's a fact. So, that's not something they can come and sue me over. Are the connections there now? Well, again, I'm not going to speculate, but draw your own conclusions from the fact that the British government won't deal with them. And our Home Secretary is standing there, obviously, at one of their meetings or at an event where the MCB has got to stand in front of their banner. What does that say about the Home Secretary, who says that her Muslim faith is the most important thing in her life?
Well, I think we know all we need to know about this woman. For me, she's an absolute disgrace that she's even in the house, let alone Home Secretary. But she's been voted for. We know who's voted for her. And, it's up to us to do something about it the next time the chance comes to vote.
Well, I mean, the Better Call Afzal and the Chuckle brothers were outside her office, protesting against her. So maybe she won't win the next election, Paul.
Yeah, exactly. They want to go even harder.
Oh, absolutely. Of course they do. I mean, that's the thing. Israel can send Lammy a new pair of Bang Boom shoes. Okay. Brilliant. Rodney James, and we don't know whether these are going to Paul's or mine. I'll just go through them.
We're streaming from Richard's tonight, by the way.
Streaming from my.
That's why I got cut off. I'm sure he's clicking me off.
No, we could still hear you, Paul. We could still hear you, mate. You weren't properly cut
right.
off,
Yeah.
mate. It's
Okay.
just,
Yeah.
it's when the telephone goes totally dead. You know, you crossed the line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's some good stuff in the comments tonight as well. I'm just whilst you're talking, I'm just
read
having
it out, Paul. Just read them out. Read them out.
I'm
mate.
I'm spinning through them. There's so many, but lots of good points. There's one or two adversaries in the comments, which always welcome their viewpoints as well. We're not like the left. We do actually listen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's funny what you were saying the other night, Paul, because my mate was saying to me that basically what we really need is people that don't agree with us politically that will actually come in.
They won't come on.
No, they won't come on.
They won't come on.
And you know, it's a shame.
There's one particular lefty on YouTube that's dedicated a whole video to myself and my channel. And I dropped a message quite politely and said, listen, you know, you've had your say about me, so why don't you come on my channel and we'll discuss it? Never heard from him.
Yep. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that. There's actually something on Twitter here, Paul. I'm actually going to share this because this is quite interesting. Just bear with me 2 seconds, see if I can get it in the screen. So let's have a look. Right. So there we go.
By the way, that was Richard after a curry, that explosion. What have you got coming up now?
Right. Well, this is interesting, Paul, because this is from GB Politics. Okay. And what they've got is they've got the campaign against anti-Semitism have. I think it's a great idea. I think that's really, really clever.
Birmingham, guys. Aston Villa's about to kick off at 8 p.m.
Superb. And again, that's peaceful. You know, there's no threat, there's no intimidation.
Absolutely. 700 police officers at that game tonight, I reckon.
Incredible.
For a match with no away fans. I mean, that is unprecedented.
Absolutely unprecedented. And it shows the level of threat and the level of fear that these nutcases have managed to stir up in the time that they've been doing this. Absolutely, completely unbelievable.
What is interesting, Richard, is the reaction of the Aston Villa supporters.
Well, has there been one?
Well, not as far as I know. I mean, there's been one or two that I've seen that have been vocally criticised the decision to ban the away fans, but I think Aston Villa fans in general need to make themselves known. And I'll tell you why, because otherwise their club is in danger, I fear, of being tarnished with a reputation that will be unfair. So it's time for Aston Villa fans to stand up and say, no. We're not going to have this. You know, we're not going to be associated with this
anti-Semitism.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, shame on Aston Villa, the club, not the supporters.
Well, do you know what, Paul? Let's be honest. If the supporters aren't speaking out, well, they really do need to speak out. You know, it's like that poem that you were talking about the other day. You know, they came for the communists and I said nothing. They came for the trade unionists. I said nothing. They came for the Jews. I said nothing. Yeah. When they came for me, there was nobody left to speak. And that little profound poem written by a German theologian who felt so guilty about not speaking out during the Second World War that he penned that. As far as I know, that's the story behind it. Is very relevant to us today. And there's one thing that we can say, Paul, right? You know, I have many faults and many flaws in my character, as my long-suffering wife knows. But I tell you what, I'm not scared to open my gob when I think something's wrong. And if I think something's wrong on our side, I call it out as well. It doesn't make you very popular, believe you me. Yeah. But, you know, we've got to open our mouths when we see something wrong. And if you're an Aston Villa supporter, I'm not going to be cheeky or insulting. You know, I don't live in your area and you're surrounded by these people, right? But if you have any conscience, for goodness sake, speak out about this. It's too late now, probably. It's too late.
I mean, as I said, I wouldn't have gone to the game tonight I just wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have gone. What they need to do, they need to, Aston Villa, the authorities and the football authorities here, because it's a precedent being set here tonight.
There is, Paul. There's
a precedent being set, and it'll be very interesting. I'll tell you what's going to be interesting, Danny. I don't know if Tottenham have played Aston Villa at Villa Park yet this season. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't follow either club. So, but it will be interesting to know the reaction of the Spurs fans when they go to Villa Park.
Yeah.
And the reaction of the locals. So,
Exactly. I mean, because look, at the end of the day, Spurs is a Jewish club. Let's just get it right. It's a Jewish club. I mean, nobody can deny that or take away from that. That's part. They're called the Yids, for goodness sake. It's part of their heritage, So not everybody that goes to watch Spurs is a Jew. I want to play this next one, Paul, from Queen Natalie, and it's Bob. I think it's actually Bob's arrest here. So just let's have a look what he's got to say and what's happened here.
With me when I came here. The other guy said, I don't want him here. How is that? I have done nothing. If you look towards the reports that these people have made, I have not contributed anything physically, verbally, intellectually towards someone being under distress. It's this colloquialism that the police use is covered under people who have breached the peace. Have I breached the peace? Have I breached the peace? By doing what?
I've explained. You have to explain what you
just said.
This is vile.
Arguments are broken out. Okay.
No, it's one-way argument. Arrest the people who have complaints against me.
Big up Christian Rage.
I mean, basically, Paul, Bob is still a child. He's 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I have so much respect for that kid.
Yeah, so do I.
Whoever is working with him, I'm guessing it's TP UK. I think they need to have security with him at all times. Maybe there is security there. I don't know.
Richard, I've been saying this for ages. I'm worried about Bob. I'm worried about him. Bless his heart.
Everywhere
here's the thing, Richard. Here's the thing. We talk about goddamn cowardice again, right? Like, you can hear him in the background chanting away, free, and all that. You can hear him in the background. And where are the police? Talking to a 17-year-old.
Absolutely. Who is completely non-violent. He's a Christian. He's non-violent. And I'm not, I wouldn't imagine Bob would have a real row. He doesn't look like the type. Do you know what I mean? He's not like Tommy. If someone sticks it on Tommy, they're going to get some payback. Someone sticks it on me or anyone else, you're going to fight back. But Bob just doesn't look like that sort of guy. Do you know what I mean?
I guarantee you, with the legal representation that I have, I will be able to laugh at any sheet of paper you give at me.
2,500 watching. Keep sharing this, guys.
On stage to speak. That is a consensual discussion between a community leader. I think as police officers, in order to alleviate aggression, you would want me to be there to discuss. A guy who assaulted me that you've done nothing about. Another guy who just pointed me out when I wasn't even there.
Professionalism, officer.
They're trying to give him dispersal order, but he says he's going to take you arrested, DB.
You tried to legally get my details on camera because you know that fucked me over, including the fact that and I have listened to you, but I'm not giving you my details. Under what section 35, which includes the now, have I breached the peace?
He has not breached the peace. You've been told.
Explain the grounds of breaching the peace.
What law? What grounds?
You have to give grounds of why he's breaching
No
the peace.
legislation,
You know
no
what I mean?
law.
You can't just say breach the peace.
You
can't just make it up.
Okay, listen, I'd be happy to stand on the other side of the road. However, that would be by the consent of your not on this side of the road. However, you need to identify what is the parameters of
There is arresting young Bob. Breaching the peace incident. Yeah, look at him, Bob. Take it.
We'll take it.
Young Bob's rocked up, he's been attacked. But now they're trying to remove him from the area.
No law, and he want to take Bob.
He's going to have to arrest him and then he's going to have to
Bob not allowed to talk with the public.
Yeah, arrest him and then he'll sue you, isn't it? Israel! There is arresting young Bob. Breaching the peace incident. Yeah, look at him, Bob. Take it.
We'll take it.
Pick up the chest of young soul.
We'll take the arrest.
Yeah. And Inman wanted to talk to a Christian. That's what it was. What is wrong with that? So we're not allowed to have religious discussions.
Richard, I'd like to say it's unbelievable, but it's not.
It's not. That's the shocking thing is, Paul. It's not unbelievable. It's totally believable because we've seen it so many times, and you know that is reprehensible. You know what they've just done there, because obviously Bob was invited to go and debate with the imam that was there by the sounds of what he's saying, and the police have done what they've always done.
Yeah.
They've gone for the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Cowards.
absolutely shocking.
Richard, there's a comment. There's a comment I want to cover here, and it's very very important one. It says, Alison says, I'd like to know when Paul or Richard are going to invite someone on from a channel that's against illegal immigration, but also feel for the people of Gaza, Palestine, a friendly debate, of course. Alison, can I give you my answer to that? I'd love to do that, but here's the deal, and I'm going to be straight with you. I am probably one of the biggest humanists you'll ever wish to meet in your life. I believe in life. I believe in peace. I believe in love. I believe more than anything in the safety, happiness and welfare of all children, especially the children. And when I see the kids in Gaza that have been hurt for whatever reason, whoever's done it, whether it be a bomb, a friendly bomb or an unfriendly one, there's no such thing as a friendly bomb, is there? They all do the damage, right? But however their injuries have potentially been inflicted, it breaks my heart. But here's the deal, Alison, right? It's very difficult to find sympathy for people that dress their own goddamn children up in military uniforms and put rifles in their hands and indoctrinate them from an early age that death is better than life. That's the problem that I've got. That is the problem. Alison, no one in the world, you will not find another human being in this world that holds dear the life of children than me. I promise you that from the bottom of my heart. And by the way, Alison, great question. I'm not shouting at you. I'm getting
I think it's great. And I mean, I don't know where Alison's coming from politically, but what I would say is, if you want to come on and do a debate, Alison, listen, the door's open there, 100%. Let's moderate it. We'll do it properly. We'll do it respectfully. We'll not be shouting.
What sort of human being is prepared to dress their own child in a suicide vest?
Well, exactly. I mean, I did nearly a 2-hour interview with Brian of London yesterday, and believe you me, you know what I'm like at talking, Paul. People can't normally get a word in.
That's a great interview, by the way.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't, but it's a good interview to get.
It was absolutely fantastic. And I mean, Brian, I just let him talk. You know, I mean, Brian can talk he's Jewish. I mean, like I'm not saying that in a discriminatory way. Any of my Jewish friends can I've never out-talked any of my Jewish friends. So he can talk, right? But it was so interesting, Paul. He was these ballistic missiles were pretty much landing in his back garden. When I say his back garden, it's a couple of blocks away, but they were taking out entire blocks. These ballistic missiles from Iran. And Brian was saying, he says, you know, people are worried about the nukes. He says, if a nuke happens, well, that's it, it's game over. He says, I'm worried about these ballistic missiles because you just didn't know where they were coming from. You know, the warning goes out, but you don't know. And very, very interesting guy, very intelligent guy. Gets Islam. And what he was saying, Paul, was he was saying that the IDF and the Shin Bet, which is the sort of MI5, and the Mossad's like MI6, Shin Bet's like MI5. Shin Bet completely failed because they're full of lefties. They after the Gaza pullout, after the Gaza withdrawal, they had hardly any human intelligence. In other words, assets on the ground in Gaza. They just left it to fester. They just left it.
And Richard, I want to go back to Alison's comment again, because it's fired me up, you know. I mean, because at the end of the day, again, I go back to the last part of her comment when she says to speak to someone that also feels for the people of Gaza and Palestine. Well, which people should we be feeling for? Is it the ones that were driving around, beeping their horns, firing guns in the air, screaming and hooting, hollering, and celebrating like they'd won the World Cup after October the 7th?
Well,
are those the people that we should be feeling? The only people in Gaza I feel sympathy for are the ones that are genuinely anti-Hamas, and the children who are being brought up and dragged up in a manner which is beyond vile.
You don't have to worry about the anti-Hamas ones anymore, Paul, because straight after Trump's peace deal, they all got massacred, shot in the back of the head. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, look, I would if we got debating somebody that was pro-Hamas, I would do that debate, Paul, because I know a lot about Israel. I know a lot about the history of the Jewish people, and I would 100% take that on. No problem whatsoever.
Someone else got a great comment in here, Richard, saying that Shabana Mahmood will end up as Prime Minister. It really wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, look, Keir Starmer's gone. Keir Starmer's toast. And I think 100%. And the Labour Party will do that deliberately because they know that they're losing the Muslim vote here, right? I'm going to read some of these supers here, Paul, okay? Because we've got quite a few backing up there, which is great. They're obviously all yours, Paul, because I normally get about 2. But well, I've had an interesting day, Paul. 3 of them didn't speak to me. I can imagine we know who she's talking about. Didn't speak to me and didn't shake my hand. Yes, we definitely know who she's talking about. Looked at me like SHXT. Thank goodness for Zena the Alsatian. Good old Zena the Alsatian.
Well done, Claire. And I hope it all went well for today.
We all need to get big dogs and feed them on loads of pork scratchings.
Good luck. Oh, by the way, a couple of things, Richard. I know you've got to read the supers, but a couple of things that's on my mind, right? I've also seen the letters going around to schools about kids not taking in ham or pork, ham sandwiches and pork. What the hell is all that about? And the other thing I need to just say is that it's Danny in Spain I'm talking about that's not in a good place at the moment. It's not a health issue, and it's certainly not his car. I'm afraid it's just not good. And but just for people speculating there. But what's all that about? I tell you what, if I had a kid at school right now, I'd be sending them to school with a bacon sandwich and a pork chop for lunch.
Bacon, sausage and tomato sandwiches, BLTs all day long. I mean, listen, the bottom line is there was something I saw somewhere about, and I haven't actually read the story, about Starmer coming after the, I was going to say the Ulster fry, but after the full English breakfast. I don't know what that's about. I'm going to have to look it up. But I mean, how can they do that, Paul? How can they actually come after what you're eating? No. It is absolutely outrageous.
Oh, well, if we did that, Richard, we'd be Islamophobic.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
We'd be classed. But going back just for a second, because I'm looking through the chat here, Richard. I'm going through the.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Aston Villa have got a problem, and I'll tell you why. Because this is also going to divide their fans. Because they have a very diverse supporter base. And a lot of their supporters will be from that community that like their football. A lot of those will actually be westernised and won't be a problem. There'll be just normal working class lads that like a game of football, probably go down the pub with their mates before the game anyway, right? But there will be a section of the Villa supporters who are not on side, who are the other way. And that's going to cause friction amongst the Villa supporters. They're a club in crisis right now.
Yeah. Oh, totally. So I think they've got big problems. I think they've got very, very, very big problems. And again, but it's not really of their doing, Paul. They're a football club. And the problem is too many people in football. I mean, look at Gary Neville. Doesn't have a clue what's going on in the country. And I used to like Neville as a player.
Richard, be fair, Gary Neville. We was proven right the other night on the trial. I mean, another middle-aged white man running across with weapons. I mean, come on, give him a break.
Actually, it was a middle-aged white man. The Muslim guy that tackled him, fair play. He had a good go.
Absolutely.
So did that white guy, right?
Both heroes.
61-year-old guy. And listen, he was built like a toothpick. Yeah. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was, 6 foot.
Mind you, Richard, he was a Nottingham Forest fan, so he's probably not that clever.
That's true enough.
Sorry, any Forest fans. Sorry.
Well, listen, I'm a Borough fan, so I can't talk really, can I? You know what I mean?
Well, you don't even count, mate. Not anymore.
We had a good firm back in the day, but. But no, listen.
Nuclear Vindaloo. Scotty John saying nuclear Vindaloo. I reckon it was. Go on, mate. Sorry, Rich. I'm ready.
No. I've lost my train of thought. In fact, I'll read this one. What can we do to stop this? A national strike. Protests are great, but are not making the government change anything. We need to make us safe again. I spoke to Tommy this morning, and I said to him, I says, mate, I says, please tell me you're not going. And he said, no. He says, I'm home with the kids, which is, I think, is exactly the right thing to do, because Tommy going down there tonight would have been like pouring petrol on a bonfire, right? And if the Muslims had got word of Tommy going down there, that would have created they would have got a big crowd, because obviously the way he's demonized by the media and so on and so forth. I don't know if you saw the footage the TUC put out, where there's a white guy talking to a Muslim. It's on Twitter. You know, we'll not do it tonight. I'll find it for another night. But they basically put a video out that was saying that Tommy says that people that are not white, that are born in England, are not English. Tommy says the opposite of that. Now, there's a lot of people that, you know, quite justifiably can justify saying, well, actually, an Englishman has to have heritage here and all that sort of thing. I don't agree with that either, because I think of the lads I served in the British Army with. I think of Saul Campbell, you know, John Barnes, you know, a lot of those black players that played for England in the 80s and the 90s, and obviously still do today. So I don't accept that. But Tommy absolutely does not believe that. But that's the lies that the TUC are putting out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Paul. Absolutely unbelievable. You know, but no, you know, and
is anything unbelievable in this day and age, though, Richard?
No. But here's the thing, Paul. This is where we need to keep our discipline, right? And I said this before, and I'm not having to go at anyone. I'm not going to mention any names, but we cannot be getting into violent confrontations with Muslims,
of course not.
Right?
No.
Now, and it's not because I'm no coward, Paul, right? As you know, I'm not scared of anything or anyone. But here's the thing. If we do that, it plays into the state's hands. It plays into the Islamists' hands. It plays into the far left's hands. It plays into the media's hands. What we need to do, we've got a plan. The plan is a very, very good plan. It's Advance UK. It's Unite the Kingdom. It's the pledge. It's some sort of spiritual and cultural awakening. And that is the plan. And to me, you know, and again, I get the idea of the national strike. We could try a national strike.
I mean, it's
Paul. Sorry, let me finish. What it's not going to do, Paul. It's not going to change things at a strategic level. Whereas the plan we've got can change things at a strategic level. And again, I've actually, by the way, guys, 12 noon on Saturday, I've got Ben Habib on my channel. And Paul, if you want, you can share it onto yours as well. Get some more eyeballs on it. I've got Ben on my channel, and we're talking specifically about Northern Ireland and Ben's love for Northern Ireland, and also why he's going to organise Advance UK in Northern Ireland. And I think that's going to be one not to miss. So that's 12 o'clock. But so the point I'm making is, Paul, right? Everyone's getting very downhearted. Everyone's getting very depressed. But we've got all the tools that will make it work. Do you know what we need? We need every single man and woman who's over the age of voting to get on the electoral register, join Advance UK, start being an active member, start supporting, I was going to say the team, start supporting the party, and make this thing work. Because, you know, we've got all the Ben's put his neck above the parapet, cancelled off GB News, cancelled off Talk TV. Tommy's put his head above the parapet. Me and you put heads above the parapet. All these people sniping from the sidelines have not put their heads above the parapet. Let's get every single family member, every single person in our communities to join Advance UK, and let's take this country by storm, Paul, because that's the only thing that's going to make any difference.
And here's the thing, if I could answer there to East 1989, my answer would be, and I'm being a little bit flippant when I say this, but actually, you know what? We don't need to do anything. And I'll tell you why, because Labour's doing the job for us. And that's why Tommy says that we don't want Keir Starmer out. In fact, stop it. Let's have Shabana Mahmood as Prime Minister for a year and see how they get on with that. Right? We've got to wake the slumbering. And the only way the slumbering are going to wake up is when they realise the absolute shit show that we're in. And I'm afraid the worst thing that could happen right now, is I said it the other day, is to put someone up front that's a little bit more socially acceptable, as a more likeable character than Keir Starmer. I mean, I don't know. Gary Glitter's got a more likeable character than Keir Starmer,
I thought you were going to say Jimmy Savile for a minute. But Osama bin Laden, maybe. I mean, no, I think Shabana Mahmood will be a great prime minister for this country. I'm encouraging the Labour Party to appoint Banana Mahmood as soon as they depose, Clueless Keir, because I think she'll be great. She'll do a wonderful job. that shoes us in for the next election 100%. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing, you know. So the answer to this really is that, you know, Labour are doing a grand job at finishing socialism forever in this country.
Well,
we just try to ride it out.
I don't think so, Paul, because you got the Green Party sitting polling at 17%, and they are absolute head cases.
But there's something worse. Well, about
Paul, do you know what?
Just as bad.
There's something seriously mentally wrong with about 30% of the British population, unfortunately.
Yeah, there is, mate. There is.
And that's a sad commentary. There's a lot of really dumb people out there that are going to vote for silly parties.
When they were hanging around hugging trees, I could put up with them, you know, but now they're
well, now they're hugging trees with a suicide vest on, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. I want to show this video, Paul, because I think this is very telling. This is very telling. And it's from Heidi Backham, which I think she's involved with the anti-Semitism campaign. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to actually expand it up before I press play, and I'll just need to do a bit of stuff on the screen here. Okay, so just bear with me, guys. Getting better. What an incredibly brave woman, Paul. What an incredibly brave woman. I can't hear you there, mate. I think you've muted yourself, Paul.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just waiting for the police to arrest her, to be fair. But...
Well, I mean, she looks about 5'2".
Yeah.
And you know, and again, built like a toothpick, you know. And she was standing there. That is courage. That's courage, Paul. You know, going there and standing there with an Israel flag. I don't even know if she's Jewish, but she's certainly, you know, she's certainly taking a stand for what is right. Yeah. And what were they chanting? Death, death to the IDF. That's what they were chanting, which has come from that vile, disgusting creature, Bob Villian, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, this is where we're at, Paul. This is where we're at. I want to.
Sorry, a question. Nana Ladybird saying Paul Prince William support Aston Villa. Maybe he should show up. I mean, imagine if he was to want to go to that game tonight.
Listen, you know, unfortunately, guys, as much as Prince William might be the poster boy and everything, he's great. He ain't the answer. He really isn't the answer. And that's sad, you know. But Deus Volt, God wills it. I feel Mam Danny could be the Antichrist. Well, I had a mate for years told me that Tony Blair was the Antichrist, right? And I used to laugh at him. And to coin a Bob Monkhouse phrase, I'm not laughing now. So who knows? Who knows? I think the Bible says there's many antichrists, but yeah, I get it. £5 from Sick of It. As a Villa fan, seeing the lawyer in a Villa shirt speaking for me allegedly. Yes, do you know what?
Yeah,
that is absolutely right, brother. Because do you know, I don't believe that guy's ever kicked a football, let alone been to a Villa match, right? Or supported Villa.
Yeah.
Because, wait, look, he's just a wrong, and I'm not going to go into details, but in fact, do you know what? I am going to go into details. I am going to show you something here tonight, guys. Right, let me just take the Twitter feed thing out first. Is that the right one? Yeah.
Just while you're finding that, Rich. Oh, okay.
Right. Now, again, what I'm saying here, it's not defamatory. I'm not suggesting for 1 second that these people are anyway involved with the people that are standing around them. The gentleman standing to the right of Ahmed Yaqub, and that's Yaqub in the middle there, is a gentleman called Aqib Khan. His brother was Akil Khan, and if anyone knows the Rape of Britain films, he featured prominently in one of those films, even though we never got the guy on camera. The guy standing to the left of Ahmed Yaqub is a guy called Gaz Khan. He featured in one of the Rape of Britain films. The guy that is circled with the red pen round him, that is Ayub Khan, who is the local MP. Gaz Khan, who's the guy dressed in white, his brother, I think, featured in episode 2. He was the gentleman that got doorstepped by Tommy at KFC and just called him a racist and wound the wind up. Now, I'm not suggesting that Ayub Khan or Ahmed Yakubu are in any way involved, and this other fella standing to the right here, we were looking at him as well. I'm not suggesting for 1 second that any of the gentlemen that weren't in those documentaries are in any way involved in grooming, but they keep strange company. They keep strange bedfellows. That's all I'm going to say on that. And of course, they're lawyers, they're barristers. You know, I suppose grooming gangs need lawyers and barristers and all that sort of stuff. But that's what we're dealing with here, guys. We're not dealing with normal people. We're not dealing with people who live and move in our world. And when you listen to the rhetoric, you listen to the way they talk, they're not like us. They really aren't like us. And if you listen to them, the way they were surrounding that woman, you know, that was holding an Israel flag, who would, Paul, if you went to one of our demos, right, there was a 5'2" Muslim woman with a hijab on, holding a Palestinian flag, you wouldn't start chanting at her. You wouldn't start abusing. No, some people might, but I wouldn't. You wouldn't.
No, in fact, what I would do is make sure that nobody actually physically assaulted her.
Exactly. You wouldn't need the police there. You wouldn't need the police there at all. No. Exactly right. Exactly right. You know, and this is what we're facing, and it's happening time and time and time again. I want to show a video here, Paul, that I think will cheer everybody up, because there's that much bad news. We want to get some good news in there. I don't know if anyone's seen this. Right. So this was a Somali gentleman that tried to mug a young lady on a train. Unfortunately for the Somali gentleman, he crossed the line when there was a UFC black belt cage fighter in the same carriage, and it didn't end well for the guy that was attacking the young woman.
Listen. I'm a black belt. I'm a professional fighter. Right? Okay? So do not move. Okay? Right? You just have to see on the phone to someone else on the train, right? You don't leave it anywhere. Stay on the floor. Stay on the floor. Stay on the floor. Are you guys on police? I didn't. I just wanted someone to call the police.
Yeah, pull it forward a little bit because it goes on quite a long time. But it's interesting what came out of the guy's pocket at the end.
It's too late. It's too late, buddy. It's too late.
And look how long it's taken the police to get there. I mean, that's about 5 minutes into this video. I've fast forwarded it. Just wait till the very end. You'll see. Look at that. That's what he had in his that's what he had in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, fair play to that guy. And I am 100% behind the Have a Go heroes.
Yeah.
It might listen. It's like anything in life. If it goes wrong, you're absolutely screwed. Let's get it right. You're dead. But if it doesn't go wrong, then you've done a very, very good service. And I think people have got to be ready, and obviously I know that most people probably aren't physically capable of doing that, but if you're still physically strong enough and capable to have a go, and you see something like that happen, you know, my position is like Trump. You get up and you go fight, fight, fight. You don't just roll over. But no, great video that, Paul. I thought that's some good news. That's some good news. And you know what we're in now, we're in a battle for our nation. Everybody's battle's different. We've got 3,000 people watching, by the way. Everyone's battle's different. And, you know, this guy's a cage fighter, so he's able to do that. Me and you, Paul, we can actually string a few sentences together. We're pretty good at that. We're pretty good at waffling and having a bit of a laugh and making things light, even though they're very serious. Do you know what I think we do? We take very serious issues and just take the piss out of them and just make people laugh.
Well, we do our best, Richard. I mean, it's not always easy. Here's one for you. Look, Mr. Tuesday. You got to stop eating that vindaloo, Richard.
It's happened again, mate.
You got to stop eating that vindaloo. By the way, Richard, I announced yesterday that Christmas Day this year, I'm going to be live all day. I'm inviting everyone to my place on Christmas Day.
I'm coming, mate. Yeah,
we're going to have dinner together.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be there for the people that have got no one to spend Christmas Day with. Well, now they have, because I'll be there all day. And I'm going to hopefully do you know what we're going to do as well, Richard? We're going to play a few Christmas specials during the stream.
Yeah.
Bit of Steptoe, bit of Only Fools and Horses, and we'll watch it together. And
great idea. That's a brilliant idea. No, we'll do it. We'll do it 100%. What time are we going to start? I mean, will I have time to, stuff the turkey and pour myself a whiskey?
Well, mate, the good news is you'll be able to join at any time and stay on as long as you like. I think I plan on going live about 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to announce dinner time beforehand. So if we're going to have dinner at, say, 3, I don't know, 2, 3, if people want to get their dinner ready for that time, we can sit and eat dinner together. If people don't mind me watching me shove I don't know if I can even get a Christmas dinner out here. I bloody better be able to.
Mate, I'll send you one in the post. Do you know what I'm going to do, Paul? I'm just going to drop GB News' live stream in here, and there's a reason why I'm going to do it, okay? Because there's a lot of there's some good footage here, and it would suggest that there's not a lot of the enemy have turned up. It looks like it's been a bit of a false flag. So let's have a little look here. So that is obviously live from the protest. It's maybe pulled back a little bit. Let's just draw it forward a bit, see what's going on. It's probably going to be pretty much the same. That is not 300,000 people, Paul.
No. There's only one man in this country that can put 300,000 people or 1 million people on the street.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
And his name's Tommy.
His name's Tommy.
Richard, do you want to get through some of them supers? Because you've got
I'll check this out, mate. Let me just get this out of the screen here. So it's just to let people see, because obviously people have actually been nice enough to come on our channel, Paul. I want to let them see what's happening. This is about what's happening in Birmingham. I want them to see what's happening because, and be able to give a big picture of what's happening. Because if you're just watching one live stream, you're not getting all the bits that we're getting.
And to get 3,000 people watching us too, when there's better streams going on, is a very big compliment. So thank you, everyone, and give us a thumbs up.
Paul, there's never a better stream than me and you, mate. Don't forget. Modesty is just one of my things, Paul. I'm just ever so humble.
Thank you, Shen.
Shen Media becoming a member, absolutely fantastic. Jenny, thanks for this. Richard Paul, why can't the centre-right unite for the sake of the country? How long do we have to sink? It's all about egos, because I would even work with reform. Jenny, can I be honest with you? I agree with you, right? I do agree with you, but here's my take on it. And I've got to say this, and look, I've got really good mates in reform, like at senior levels in reform, right? And we just don't agree on it. We don't agree on it. But the problem I've got is this. If I wanted to join reform, I couldn't. Paul couldn't join reform because we were in a party called For Britain, which was not a far-right party. In fact, reform has actually more right-wing policies now than For Britain did when we were members, Paul, right?
Yeah, well, we can't join. Yeah.
We can't join because it's on Nigel Farage's prescribed list. And it's deliberately because of the connection with Tommy. It's deliberately because of Anne-Marie Waters, not because of the policies, not because of the people that were involved, but he didn't like people that were in the party. He didn't like the leader of the party, Anne-Marie. And now that he might be trying to pull something together, I think it was very telling that they didn't win that by-election in Wales. Again, they still haven't got the groundwork done to win a by-election.
I don't believe they have the trust of. I don't believe that Nigel Farage has the trust of the people.
No, I mean, and when we're saying the people, we're on about us, Paul, right?
Yeah,
we're on about us and all our, lovely subscribers and people that come, 3,000 people sitting watching us. When they could be watching
the million plus that went to the United Kingdom.
The 10 million that watched it.
But Jenny, and the 10 million that watched it. But Jenny's question is a very good one. Jenny,
it is.
I'm as frustrated as you because believe me, I've tried to unite people. I've tried to bring all sorts of people together. I've spent days and weeks on the phone trying to just make two people talk. And you know what? Their egos are bigger than their love for the country.
But it's not. I think I can safely say this and put my hand on my heart and say this, Paul. It's not Ben's ego.
It's not Ben. No, absolutely not.
It is absolutely not. There's other people that have, and I did a video the other day, and I probably got myself into a bit of trouble, but I called a few people out on it, a few YouTubers, and listen, people should have stood with Ben. When Ben started that party, people should have said, yeah, we're in. And they're not.
No messing about.
No,
we're
you
in.
know, we're in. And that says everything you need to know, Paul, to be honest with you. That says everything you need to know. And all the YouTubers, and I'm excluding Dan Wootton in that, because Dan has always played a very level bat, and if Reform do something good, he bigs them up. If Ben does something good, he bigs them up. So I think Dan's a very straight shooter. But the rest of them that were meant to stand with Ben that didn't, we know who you are. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's pretty reprehensible. So Jenny, you're right. There is a lot of ego involved. I don't think it's coming from Advance. I know what's going on in Advance. It's amazing, to be honest with you. And I'm just a bloke, you know, that's a member. That's it. I'm not a party leader or on the college or anything. I'm just a member. But I fully back them. 100%.
Yeah.
The guy sitting next to me, he's involved in it. You know what I mean? And I trust him. Okay. Will footballers take the knee for Jamon? Oh, mate, you're on it tonight. Okay. Stevie G became a YouTube member. All these members I'm getting, Paul. I'm loving it.
He weren't about football, you know, in his day.
Who, Stevie G? Yeah, there was a guy. This guy I was in the military with called Stevie G. He was one of my platoon sergeants. He was an absolute maniac, brilliant guy. Ephesians 5:11 have nothing to do with fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. Absolutely right, Bess. Absolutely right. Hi, Paul Richards. Someone translate that for me.
Okay, so he's saying he likes his ham tapas. Very much. Yeah.
I like ham tapas. Yeah. Ham tapas is good. £2 super sticker. Thanks for that, Tony. We'll get through these right now. For anyone struggling, listen to the song Rescue by Lauren Daigle. It helped me. Yeah. Get that for Danny, Paul. Get that song for Danny and get it over to Danny. Yeah. And do you know what? I found that the way that I don't have a massive amount of people following my channels, but see the people that do, they are so. There's a little community there. They've actually got each other's backs.
Very connected.
They've actually definitely got each other's backs. Might be Maya. Oh, it's Baraka. Oh, come on, phone answer.
You can send it live.
Hey, Baraka. I know. Hey, Baraka. Are you trying to get in, mate? Yeah. Are you trying to get in with that link?
Yeah. What's happening? So, should I try again?
Yeah, try again. Click on that link. Click on that link, Baraka, and as soon as I see you, I'll bring you in, mate. Yeah. Okay. Cheers, mate. Right, I'm gonna.
You're gonna try and get me. Oh, shall I read out some of the supers?
Yeah. Yeah. Please do, mate. Please do. Yeah.
Ocean Pier, thank you very much. What if people are offended by halal meat due to the cruelty? We're a country of animal lovers. New York, what a mess! Absolutely,
we need to ban it.
Sheila Miller has sent you 1999, Richard. She says this is for Richard. I don't want him thinking he's left out.
Sheila, love you. Thanks so much. That's really appreciated. Brilliant.
Gladys, Ulster Fresh are the best, Richard.
Yep. I don't know if that's Ulster Fry or Ulster Fresh, but either works. Either works. An Ulster Fry or something fresh from Ulster would be good.
Claire's back again. Funniest thing, my son Bryn turned up with bacon rolls for us. They took a break and sat in their vans. P.S. Richard, can you ring me, please? Richard, give Claire a bloody ring, will you?
Okay, I will, Claire. I will.
Oh,
I will.
What are you
Do
like?
You know what? I'm a terrible man. I'll give you a ring.
Ish 1989, feel scared as a lone parent taking my kids out. Oh, that's just horrible.
Now I'm still not seeing Baraka, and I can't go back into any further back to get him. He's not getting in here, unfortunately. So, Baraka, if you're watching this, mate, keep trying to get in. There's nothing showing up there, and I've removed a whole lot of stuff so we can make room for you. But there's nothing coming there.
Baraka, if you're watching, you're dealing with a dinosaur, right? But
Paul, don't listen. I've told you, self-deprecating humor is not good. Don't talk about yourself like that, Paul. It's not nice.
Shin media makeup. I know things I got told, and the only way Muslims will vote Labour is if Mrs. Badmood is in position. Downing Street is the goal. We do not have 4 years.
No, well, I get that. I get that. You know, I get that totally. I think we've just got to stick with the program. I think we've got the best plan, to be honest with you. 1989. I feel scared as a lone parent taking my kids out. That is dreadful.
I just said, I know you don't listen to me, Richard. I just read that out a minute ago, but there you go.
Well, it needs to be read again, Paul, because it's a very important message.
It is.
Obviously, you didn't emphasise it enough, Paul. You know what I mean? No, so
Richard the Imam. Can we read out Richard the Imam? That's quality. What a name, Richard the Imam.
You read that? Okay, let's have a look at that one. But Ish is 100% right what she's saying.
Absolutely.
That is ridiculous.
Terrible.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Shocking.
Can we have, for the viewer's point of view, a duet of Little Drummer Boy on Christmas? I think we could do that, Paul.
We got a few surprises lined up for Christmas Day. Don't you dare miss it, everyone, right? Christmas Day, 10 a.m. and we're going to go all through Christmas Day. You're coming round to my house for Christmas here in Spain. Can't promise you any snow, but we'll do our best. And
you're going to grow a beard, Paul? Actually, Richard the Imam, I'm going to give away something that Paul's told me not to tell anyone, right? But in Benidorm, right, there's a really good Johnny Mathis tribute band, right? And he's called Johnny Arthritis. He's called Johnny Arthritis. And he's going to come up the road in his mobility scooter singing The Little Drummer Boy. And in fact, what we'll do, actually, rather than do a duet of The Little Drummer Boy, what we're going to do, Richard the Imam, we're going to have Paul and Johnny Arthritis doing a race down the hill in their mobility scooters. Oh, here we've got Baraka. We've got the legend that is Baraka. Add to the stage. Here he is. You're coming live and direct from Birmingham. This better work now, Baraka, just to show Paul. We've got the egg time. Keep talking, Paul, because sometimes these things can take a little while.
Well, we've got the Ugly Sisters. We're waiting for Cinderella to come on. Look, where is he? Jane, thank you so much, Jane. Jesus, send revival, wake up the sleepers. Oh, how we need your presence in this land. What a lovely message.
Absolutely right. 100%. 100%. Well, Bracca's, we're struggling to get you in there, Bracca. If you can see, you actually are obviously,
put some money in the meter, Bracca.
It's internet connectivity. We'll just say you're getting jammed by the West Midlands police. Okay. Following Paul's point of kids being martyred, people doubting should watch documentary kids chasing paradise. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely, it's dreadful. And the thing is, kids are getting really martyred in Nigeria. Little Christian kids are getting murdered. And not too many people are talking about that. We've lost Baraka again. Baraka, if you want to try again, mate, try again. We've actually got some.
If you can just play the first 5 seconds of one of the shows that we'll be playing on Christmas Day. It's in.
Is this going to get me a copyright strike?
No, I've already double checked it. You're fine, ready? Okay. We're going to watch this together, boys, on Christmas Day, boys and girls. There you go. That'll do.
It's me and you, Paul. It's me and you, mate.
That's just one of the shows that we'll be watching together and laughing at whilst we're eating Christmas dinner on Christmas Day.
Paul, so that's me and you. That's me and you. Step two and son.
I'll be Harold. I'll be Harold.
Harold. Right. Okay. What do we got here? Following Paul's point of Kismet Master, people doubting should watch the app. We've done that one. Thanks very much for that, Nick. Richard the Emma. Richard, I've yet again been unsubscribed. What the heck's going on there? We need to check that one out, Richard, because that should not be happening under any circumstances. None of my guys will be booting you out for sure. I think it's Paul doing it, so he gets all the supers for himself. Okay, this reminds me of the 80s comedy. Do you know? I'll take that one because I love Cannon and Ball. They used to. Yeah, I was going to say. got to be very careful. So I used to love Cannonball. Great, absolutely fantastic. I think are they both dead now? I think one of them's definitely dead, isn't he?
I'm not sure, mate.
One of them definitely died there.
Yeah, one of them did. Yeah,
but,
I think
yeah,
the smaller one. Yeah, is it?
Yeah, he was doing that show with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. No, listen. Right, we've been going for 1 hour 15. Let's have a quick look back at what's going on. See if we got anything there from GB News. See what's actually going on. Let's put it in the stream there. I'll put some volume on it. To be fair, it seems pretty well natured, Paul.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's what you want. You know, if people can I mean, I don't like the intimidation and the bullying that's been pushed by the the jihadi lawyers, but I think the reality is, if it's good natured and it's peaceful, well, that's something very British about that.
Well, yes and no. I mean, at the end of the day, Richard, we've got to remember the bottom line is that our national sport has been affected today and influenced by sectarianism.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, for me, the damage has already been done.
True.
To the sport, to our reputation as a country, to the reputation of Aston Villa Football Club, to the reputation of the West Midlands Police, and to the reputation of the authority that decided that Maccabi Tel Aviv fans would not be safe in Birmingham.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This can be as peaceful as it likes. What you can bet your bottom dollar on is that if those fans had been allowed there tonight, it would not look as peaceful as it does.
Yeah, there'd have been a riot, wouldn't there? And again, I think probably when you look at the clowns that were basically trying to rile up the audience, I think the fact that they had Ahmed Yacoub as the main cheerleader, it's not the sort of cheerleader that impresses me, Paul. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I wonder if next time he flies home from wherever he goes to, if the anti-terrorist mob will be waiting for him to pull him in for 3 hours, 6 hours.
Well, I mean, he has been pulled before, and this is the thing, Paul. We probably need to revisit the whole idea of prevent, because I think there's something in that we can actually deal with. So right, I think I've seen enough of that, Paul.
Yeah,
I think we'll get rid of that.
I think the game is, let me just check up on something. Hold on a minute. Let me just check up on something very quickly. The game is 20 minutes old, I believe.
Okay.
And the score is... let's have a look. I can't even see it.
Oh, it's an 8 p.m. kickoff. 8 p.m. kickoff, Paul.
Oh yeah, I'm an hour in front of you.
Hasn't kicked off yet.
I'm an hour in front, and
unless I'm not reading it right, this is where I say something. And I'm going, do you know what? I don't think anything's going to happen. I think we've dodged the bullet on that one, and then this happens.
Oh dear.
Live from Birmingham.
Now, if that was Stamford Bridge, I'll be giving you a round of applause. Sorry, Chelsea fans, but I'm a good old Fulham boy. You know the score, lads, right? You know the score. Come on.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
But I want to put one more little graphic into the chat tonight, and again, it is a serious one. It's that this, we're not messing about here, and it's this little lad. When people are chanting, death to the IDF, we know what they mean. And when people are chanting from the river to the sea, we know what they mean.
We know
what they mean. When people are chanting free Palestine, we know exactly what they mean. So, and globalize the Intifada, we know exactly what they mean.
We know what they mean.
And
we're not stupid.
It means killing more little Ariels. That's what it means. Yeah. And I think we've got to always have that in front of our minds, Paul, that's what happened.
Anyone supporting Palestine that's watching this right now, if you want, not that you probably want it, but if you wanted our sympathy, my sympathy, or the sympathy of the majority of the British people, give you a couple of tips. I'll give you a couple of little tips. Stop breaking into countries and murdering women and children.
Yep.
and stop dressing your kids up. That'd help. And stop dressing your children up in army uniforms, putting suicide vests on them and giving them guns. That goes some way to me having a little bit more respect for your cause.
Exactly.
And how about returning, you know, the children like this, women and kids that were kidnapped? Don't even start me on it, Richard. We've all seen what happened on October the 7th.
Yep.
And people say, well, it goes back a lot further than that. Well, you know what? For us here in England and for me personally, that's when it started for me.
Well,
I mean, it goes back further for me as well. But what I'm saying is the latest round of what we've got now started on October the 7th, and I know who was to blame.
Exactly. And I mean, you know, the Jewish friends that I've got, one of my friends, and I know he won't mind me saying this, his brother, and this is a guy in his 70s, very successful businessman, his brother had a heart attack when he heard the news of what had happened. You know, and the whole, I haven't seen Ivan for a little while now, but he basically, you know, I stayed with Ivan the night that Tommy got arrested at the anti-Semitism march, and the whole of the Jewish community was in absolute shock right the way through the world, not just in Israel, all over the world. You know, they were absolutely destroyed by it. So anyway,
and I think I've told this story before, Richard, but let me just tell you this. Shortly after October the 7th, I was out for dinner.
Yep.
With a Jewish family. And as we sat around the table, I thought, wow, they're going to be angry tonight. They're going to be, you know, they're going to be on it.
Yep.
And, you know, one of their major concerns was that the innocent children of Gaza didn't suffer.
Wow. That's incredible. And you know, this is the thing, Paul. This is the thing about Judaism and Christianity. There's a compassion in those religions that you don't really get anywhere else. You don't get it in communism. I know communism is not a religion, but you don't get it in Islam. You know, there's a deep compassion there. You know, and that's the big difference. Sheila, I'm trying to find these messages of Stevie's. Where are they in the main chat? Problem is, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, isn't it? Looking for stuff in the Stevie's.
You better read Party Pet.
Lane Audits is live at Villa. Okay, is that what we're? Oh, is that the one? I
think we need to round it up, Rich, so that we can get off and have.
Yeah, absolutely, totally.
Party Pants, right. last super there, mate. You won't want to miss this one.
Yep.
Reminds me of Frank Spencer. Who's going to see Paul Thorpe on Christmas Day?
You know what? Do you know the phrase that just came to my mind there?
Go on.
The donkey's done a whoopsie in the corridor. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Where he went up through the roof of the church.
Rich, you're going to wear a Christmas hat on Christmas Day?
I'm going to wear a Frank Spencer Mac and a Frank Spencer Berry, mate. That's what I'm going to wear on Christmas
Richard,
Day.
please, Richard, don't put a Mac on. You'll get arrested.
Not in my living room, I won't, Paul.
We will when I've called the police.
It depends on what I'm wearing under the Mac, Paul. You know what I mean?
I'll be on the phone to the PSN. I'll be saying, listen, there's a geezer around. This is his address. He's wearing a Mac and a Father Christmas.
Paul, they know my address, mate. You don't have to tell them my address. They know my address already. You know, don't worry about that.
He's on the internet right now, and he's wearing a Mac and a Father Christmas hat. Go on, get out of there.
Right, let's go. Okay, guys. Well, listen, it's been absolutely fantastic. I was going to say it's been emotional, but I'm just going to just one last go. Right, we're out of here, guys. See you soon.
Take care, everyone. Have a great week. God bless you all. See you later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's good night from me. It's good night from him.